So I just preferably just prefer to put in what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for planners. So I just type in the word planners in the search bar, and voila. Here you have a bunch of planners that will come up. So you can click on any of them. And what these are just templates, so you can change them if you like. You can dump your information in here, but as you can see, the possibilities here are endless. So the one that I chose is this one, and it's called a social media post planner. So this is what I hit. Use this template. And there you have it. I didn't change anything on here because it was pretty much what I was looking for. It has the post, the title, the post title, the topic, the platform, and the publish date, your description that you want to put in your description box, and then your to-do list, what you need or whatever. If you're going to list any hashtags or connect any links to it or anything like that, and then it has a little section here for notes. So this really worked out great for me. So what I did was I just saved it and I downloaded it, and then I went on ahead and printed it out and copied it double-sided on front and back pages, and just made about 100 and something copies of it. So, and I made the copies on a gold copy paper. So I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so we are back now, and this is what it looks like. I printed it out on my printer, and I used some gold rod colored paper, and I printed it a double-sided, so we have it two sides, which will give us more use as opposed to putting it on one side. And then this is the tool that we have. It's called a cinch, and it's made by We Are Memory Keepers. And it's a pretty nifty little tool. What you'll do is it tells you here on the side where to put your guide. So if the number is a whole, the size of your paper is a whole or a half of an inch, you'll place the guide in slot A. I don't know if you guys can see that over here. This is A, B, and C. You'll place it in slot A, which ours is 8.5, so it's a whole and a half inch. So I'll go ahead and place it in slot A as my guide. B gives you 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 5/8, 3/4 of an inch, so on and so forth. If it's a size A4, A5, A6, or A7 there, and then C is going to give you 3/8 or 7/8 of an inch. But that's how you use the guide there. So then what you'll do is you'll take your paper and you'll put it in right up against the guide, and you'll press. So when you press, you're going to get these little square holes that's going to allow you to make this to become a binder. Okay? So once you've done the initial press, you can go ahead and take out your little guide there, because you won't need it until you start your next sheet of paper. And then, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little green lever right here on the side. This is how you gauge where to place the next hole. So according to the instructions, you're going to place that little guide in the second to last hole that you punched. So we will line it up here, that second to last hole, and we will push it down so it holds the paper in place. And then you'll go ahead and push. And you'll continue to do this until you get to the edge of the paper. So we'll do the next one. It's 2 holes. Press and lift. And then we have one left. Press, then lift. And you'll do that for all of your paper pages that you have for your booklet on here. And then we'll come back when we do that. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do all that, but that's how you use the cinch, one part of it, and it puts the holes in there for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video, and then when I come back, we'll have all the pages punched, and then I'll go ahead and show you how to use the binder and the binding part of this and put it all together. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so we are back, and I have punched those holes all the way down the side here. I just put 2 binder clips on my stack just to keep them together and to keep it lined up so when we go to bind it together. And the next step we're going to do is make a cover for it and a back so that it's going to be like a little booklet. And in order to do that, well, for me, I found this at the dollar store. I just thought this was too cute. It's just a little file folder. It was out with the school supplies, and we're going to go ahead and use this to make our front and back cover. So the paper itself is 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to play with it a little bit because I don't want it just to be the exact same size as the paper. I wanted there to be, you know, maybe a little bit hanging over just to protect the pages on the inside. So I'm going to play with it for a little bit. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this file folder in half. And this is a guillotine paper cutter that I have purchased off of Amazon, I believe. Okay, and so now I want to still be able to keep these in case I want to place some receipts or something on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from this side so we still have the folders there and intact. So I'm going to start out with, let's say 9 inches, since the width of the paper going across is 8.5, and then this is 11. So I'm going across, I'm going to start out with 9 inches just to give it a little, maybe like 1/2 inch, or maybe I'll do 8 instead of a whole 8.5, not 1/2 inch. Maybe I'll do 8 3/4. So we'll have a little, I'll start out with 9. And then if I don't like it, I'll cut it back down. It's always better to have more than to not have enough. Okay. So, with that, and I'm just noticing that there are some holes that are on that side. I guess so you could have put this in a ring binder. But I might have to cut it to 8 3/4, but we'll see. Let's just play with it. Okay. So now, this is the 9. And it is definitely too big as far as the 11 goes. So I'm going to have to cut it from the top in order to keep the flaps intact so that we have those. I'm going to have to cut it from the top. So this folder was a total of 12 inches. So I think I'm going to do maybe 11. We'll start at 11.5 and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, let me do both of these. Both these. Okay, we have a little piece of the top on there. All right, at 11.5. So let's just put these on here and see what it looks like. As far as the spacing, I don't know if you can see that here. We're just really kind of trying to figure out the spacing around it. And I think that looks pretty good. I mean, as far as from top to bottom, it looks good. I think I might take just a little bit more off of that side. So I'm going to go back to I had it at 9 and it was at 8.5. So maybe I'll do 8 3/4. And that looks good to me. So we are going to do the 8 3/4. Just making sure I cut off the right side there. Yeah, we're going to do the 8 3/4. That's going to do it for us. Alrighty, so let me move these paper cutter out of the way. And what we're going to do is bring back in our cinch. And then we are going to put the holes in, and they are both going to be on, one is front and one is back. See how I did that? Front and back. So when you open up the front, we have that pocket. I think that's going to be the back, and then this is the front. Yes. So when we open up that front, we have, I know y'all can see that pocket, and then the back, that's going to be that pocket there. So the holes need to go on these two, front, back. Okay. And what we're going to do is put it back in. Oh no, I have to adjust because this is not 8.5 by 11. This is 8 3/4 of an inch. And then this actual size, what did I do this actual size as? Guys, it's very important that you check your numbers. Definitely check. So this side was 11.5. So it's a whole number. So we actually were going to do A as well, because it's a half number. 11.5 is a whole and a half an inch. So we are definitely going to be using A again. Okay. I pray this comes out right, you guys, because if it doesn't, I don't have another one of these folders. Okay, so we're gonna press. Go ahead and remove that. Then we're going to go ahead and that second to last hole you push that in, press, lift it up, pull it out. Second to last hole, push that in, press, lift it up, pull it out, and one more time. That is the second to last hole, press it in, punch, pull it out. Yes, it came out correctly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, now that we have that done, we're going to turn the cinch around, and on the other side of the cinch, you'll have there's this little portion that's here, and that actually helps you to bind it together. So what I'm going to do, when you buy your cinch binders, they come, the binding wires, they come in all different colors. So I have black here, I have rose gold here, and I also have white here. So I don't know, the writing on the paper is in black. Black would go with the beige, or I could do a white, but I think we're gonna go with black. So what I'll do is take out the binder. And so this is, guys, this is actually just big enough for this. Alrighty then. Okay, so what we do is we take out the binder, and then it is supposed to be, hold on a second. Here it is. On the wrong side, Tammy. So they have these little, I don't know if you can see them, on this side, they have these little, this little rack that these fall onto, which you can use it to place them on. It just holds the binder so that you can get your papers on there. So what we're going to do is take off these clips, and then we're going to put the paper, and I believe I'm going to have to wind up doing it in segments. So what I'm going to do is, if this would stay, thank you very much. Go ahead and line this up. And then actually there's only one. Can you see that? There's only one little one that's not lined up in there, but that's fine. We'll just cut that off at the end. So we're just going to keep lining these up till we get all of these put on here. This is a fairly simple craft to make. I tell you, once you start crafting and you learn how to make things, you very seldomly will you buy it. You'll be looking to see how can I make that. And so now we need to put the front and the back on there, okay? And so you have to make sure that you put it on properly. And I believe once we put this on and we cinch it, it's gonna go, that's gonna flip this way. If it's not the right way, guys, you can always come back and do it again. You can take it loose and do it again, okay? So now that we have that on there, what we're going to do is we're going to take it off of the clips, and this back part is the part that is the cinch machine. Part of the cinch machine, and what it's going to do is it's going to close these, and a lot of times they like to close it. I'm just double checking to make sure that when I put this on here and it closes and I flip it, that they are the right way, and it does not look like they are the right way. So let me go ahead and take these off, and I think I need to put them backwards. Okay, so now when I close these and I flip this, that's going to be the back, and then this one will stay forward, and that will be the front. Okay, we got it right now, guys. Okay, so now we're going to take it, and you could kind of do this from the other side, but I like it when I put it on upside down. I like it where the big, see there's small binder, or should I say, the binder has a small side and then it has a big square side. I like to clench down on the big square side, but when I put it on there, I put it on different. So I put it on reverse on there. So you just, what you'll do is put it in there and you'll clench down. And what that does is that seals the binders. That closes the binder together. And I just try to line them up. There's little squares that are here, and I just try to line those big squares up with those little squares. And go ahead and press. And you can always do it tighter, or you can loosen them up. It's your preference. Because some of these I have are tighter than the other ones. So I may have to go and adjust. Okay. So this looks like it didn't cinch. So I'm going to do both sides. Okay. And so some places, like right in here, it's a little tighter. You can loosen that up with your fingers. Or if you needed to take this whole thing out, you can just loosen them all up and redo it again if you didn't like the way it came out. But that's gonna be it. So, of course, I put them on backwards. So guess what, guys? I'm gonna have to redo it again. All right, you guys, we're back. And note to self, it's been a minute since I've made a binder. When you're placing the binder together, you first put on, once you put your spiral, I've taken it apart again, you put the little ones with the big square. I don't know if you can see those. There's two parts. There's a side that has the little bit, and then the other side that has the big squares. You take the big squares and you'll put that on here. You'll drape them on here, and that just basically holds the binder in place so that you can load it up with your materials. And then you have to put the back on first. So that's where I goofed. I put the pages in first, and then was thinking that once I put the pages in and I put the front and the back, once I clinched it together, I would be able to flip the back and it would be toward the back. But it doesn't work that way, guys. So took it apart. We're starting again. We're putting the back cover on, and now we're going to put the rest of the pages on here. Alrighty. We have this set. And also I had to wind up cutting the long side down. That was this side, wound up being, I had it at 11, I think 11.5 inches, and I had to wind up cutting it down to 11 inches. So we're just gonna finish loading up the planner. And then we'll go ahead and put the cover on. Okay, see if we can get this other set in one scoop. There we go. Just make sure that's all up there. Then we'll go ahead and take the front cover. We'll place that on. And then we're gonna go ahead and cinch it. I don't know if you can see or not, but with this being in here, there is one loop that is over the size of the planner. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that part. I usually separated it a little bit, and then I'll just take some wire clippers. Thought I was going to take some wire clippers. Let's try these. And we'll just pull that off. We don't need that. And so then what we'll do is you can take the pliers, and what you'll do is you'll just fold it, that end of it back in. Just like you kind of see the spiral notebooks, they fold it back in. Actually want to fold this down so that it is the shape of the rest of them, and then just take that little end there and fold it in. Okay, so now we have it. Everything is loaded, and we are going to close this baby together. So we're going to take that back side again, and we are going to cinch this together. Like I said, the squares kind of line up here, and you just give it a little pressure. See, there we have it. I've got a little bit more of this hanging out than I want. So I honestly am going to cut it some more. And it helps if you have the right tools. These are some needle nose pliers and not actually wire cutters. And so what I'm doing is just cutting off some of the excess and then turning that top piece down in there. And I'll wind up doing the same on the bottom. It's not really a lot of excess, but I'm just gonna turn it inwards. All right, so there we have it, folks. We have my little planner, and so then when you open the inside of it, you still have the little useful pockets here in case you want to put a couple of items, and then you have your planner pages, both front and back, to use. So I will definitely be utilizing this as I go ahead and plan for my content for my YouTube channel. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in today. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button down below. You can also subscribe. I would love to have you as a follower. And until we meet again, have a blessed day. Thank you and goodbye.